I'm going to be teaching you how I get paid to live my life. Yes, you heard that correctly. I just live my life and I make money by doing it. How do I do this? With a personal brand and coaching business, put simply. I'm going to be breaking down exactly the journey that I went on and how I was able to monetize that and turn it into a brand that allows me to get paid to do the things that I love. So let's dive into it with what is it that I actually accomplished. So if you don't know about me, on my main channel, I basically teach guys how to go from shy, insecure, and just not having success with girls and socially to being very confident, being very outgoing, having success with girls, having success socially. And this is something that I did at 19 years old. I got broken up with, and before this point, like I just described, I was just kind of a bitch, if I'm being honest. That's how I could describe myself. And I really went on a self-development journey, developing true internal confidence, learning social skills, putting myself out there, doing everything that I deep down wanted to do but was too afraid to do when I was younger. And I started to live the best life that I possibly could. I wanted to be a bit of a playboy, and that is what I accomplished. I remember the first time I had real success was just a couple months after I started this journey, and I solo traveled to Sweden. And I went there by myself to my mom's hometown and a bunch of success with girls and made so many friends who I still have to this day. And it was just a lot of fun. And I really cemented this identity of being the best version of myself. I'm continually self-improving and I'm having a ton of success with girls. So that was really the transformation that I made, and I've continued to build and build and build on it year after year. And I've been having a ton of success with girls, and this whole time when I was younger, I was not having any success. So it's really just teaching this transformation of how I was able to live my best life and the methods and ways that I was actually able to get to this end result. Because I had a lot of issues that people can relate to, like limiting beliefs, negative thoughts. I was so anxious, so nervous. I didn't have any self-belief, no confidence. And these were all the common issues that I needed to overcome, and a lot of guys need to overcome in order to live this lifestyle that I live. So all I started to do when it was about a year and 3 months ago, I was 22, I started to post on YouTube talking about the ways that I accomplished my life. So how did I get to this point in my life? I just started to break everything down and teach my lessons and share my knowledge. And over time, I cultivated an audience. And I started just doing this on YouTube. I started to post every single day. And for that reason, I made every single one of you a YouTube strategy board. This is the exact one that I use that has allowed me to consistently post once per day and produce quality videos at that high frequency. So I'm going to give that to you. It's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. Basically the picture I'm trying to paint is that I've been living a life that a lot of guys who, if they kind of want girls and they want to be a little bit of a playboy or just have some fun, they can relate to. They kind of want to live. They want to be confident. They want to be able to go up and talk to a girl if they find her attractive. So I'm really just putting out there the life that I've been living, which is a life that a lot of guys can kind of relate to and want to live as well. So that's kind of the transformation that I've made, the life that I show the world, and I teach them how to get there, right? So it starts with building an audience of people who are all like-minded, who want to achieve that end result. And now, that is really the key, is building an audience. So once you've built an audience, now there's going to be a select few people who want to work with you. They want to get to know more. They want to take that advice and take it much further. Nowadays, people aren't paying for information as much as they're paying for implementation. So someone hears my advice, they're like, this guy's pretty cool, let me work with him more personally. Let me get some personal advice from him. Let's hear what he has to say about my unique situation. How can I improve? How can I take things to the next level? And that's where coaching comes in. Coaching is you really just helping the people that want your help to implement all the things that you teach. I basically teach everything. All my knowledge gets put onto YouTube. There's nothing I'm really gatekeeping. Maybe just a couple few things for my main channel, just things that I wouldn't say. You know, I reserve certain things, but not every single thing I say online, but I would say 90%. I teach pretty much everything you need to succeed. And there's plenty of guys who DM me who are like, bro, I applied your advice and it's fucking amazing and I got my dream girl because of it. I just posted a screenshot of a guy DMing me that the other day. So, you know, you can get all the value you need from the free advice that I put on YouTube and from the audience that I cultivate. And I mean, I'm living proof of that from other influencers as well. Like Hamza absolutely changed my life and I never paid him $1. So you're going to change a lot of people's lives. You're going to help a lot of people, but there's also going to be a select few that really want to work with you. They want to take things to the next level. They want that implementation, that one-on-one feedback. They want you on they're holding their hand, right? Taking them through the journey. And that's where you can sell a high ticket coaching program. Coaching is what's going to make you rich. Don't sell a course. Courses are outdated, not in 2025. People not paying for information, like I just said. So you're going to sell your coaching program, and you can sell it for high ticket. Access to you needs to be valuable. You need to place a high value on yourself and your time. I will not trade my time for a little money. I don't give a fuck. I'm rich. I don't want to fucking work for peanuts. I'm not doing that shit. I only trade my time for a significant bit of money. So that's what you need to do, is you need to charge a lot of money for your time. And this also makes people get better results, right? Because when people make a big investment, now they need to make something happen. When it's like, fuck, I fucking just put down a bunch of thousands of dollars. I want to really get this result. They're going to try so much harder than if they just paid $50 for a bullshit course. They're like, you know what? I don't actually give a fuck. I'm not going to listen to what this guy said. I paid $50. I don't really feel like doing it today. And they're not going to get the results. And your coaching program is not going to improve and get more testimonials and get better results. And people it's not going to work out. So you got to charge high ticket. You got to help the people that want your help from your audience. And that's how you can make a bunch of money. It is really that simple. And now how this all kind of ties into like how I get paid to live my life is I'm getting all this money and I'm reinvesting it into my experiences, the things that got me here in the first place. So before I had to leverage, my job that I was working, and I would go out on the weekends and get this fun, I would party and get experiences with girls and whatever. But I was working like 10, 12 hours a day with my previous business. Well, before that, I would just work a sales job, save up and spend all that money, and then have to go back and work another sales job. Now it's just very more relaxed pace where I work about 3 hours a day producing content and taking sales calls and client calls. That's it. It averages out to about 3 hours per day. I make 5 to 10K per month. I'm still in my early stages. I will get to much higher income very soon, but it's not that intensive, right? So it's like I have plenty of time to go out, go on dates, go to the gym, improve myself, really pour back into myself, learn all the lessons I need to learn, and then teach those lessons to the audience. And that's really where it comes into why I think that personal branding is the best. If you're someone who is self-development oriented, if you like to improve yourself, personal branding gives you that time to really pour into whatever it is that your thing is, whatever your niche is that you're interested in, that you're building your personal brand, or you really get to pour back into spending a lot more time doing that thing and then developing even further so that you can have all the lessons and knowledge to share with others, improving the value of your brand once again. So it really just becomes this continuous upward winning spiral where you're getting paid to live your life, and then you start to do the thing that made you money in the first place more and more and more, and then you get a bunch more experience, and it all just works in your favor. So that's why I think that personal branding is the best possible business model that you can take on in 2025, and you can build a coaching business on the back end that can make you genuinely rich. So once again, I recommend posting on YouTube, and for that reason, I made every single one of you the YouTube strategy board. It's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. You can grab that now.